Welcome to another episode of B.A.G Combos, aka the B.A.G Podcast. This ain't no hoe shit. This is a platform that I wanted to create to have great conversations where we discuss just about anything. Relationships, real life, food, music, even that demon time. All right, welcome everybody back to another episode of B.A.G Combos, aka the B.A.G Podcast. My name is Sean. I'm your host today, and every time you come on here, whatever you want to call it. And alongside me today is my co-host, who shall introduce himself.
_Sid6.
Gosh, I guess we're gonna do this all season then. Go ahead, sir.
That's all they need to know.
Oh, okay. No extra shit today.
Big body bends.
Oh my God. What the fuck does that mean? Here we go. This man has one good showing in about 4 years, and now he want to call.
I wasn't even talking about that. I just went to the gym today. I just felt like a big body.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. We're gonna have a very all over the place topic today. That probably most of y'all know or have experienced in some way, shape, or form. If anything, you'll understand the true version of this dynamic or why it even is possible. But we're going to talk about college, our experiences. This may turn into a series. Who knows? But we're going to get into it today. So what I'm going to start with, we'll need to name no college names or whatnot. But my question to you, sir, is how exactly did we meet?
I was like thinking about this before we started, and like I kind of like don't know exactly how. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
No,
see, this is crazy. This just shows you the first step of our friendship right here. I'm gonna get into it.
It's not even like that. To my knowledge, we met just playing basketball.
Okay, that is correct.
Because I was friends with our mutual friend Unique, who was a bio major for a short period of time. So bio major, the only other, I think one of maybe, I think he was the only other black guy in my class. And I kept seeing him in the gym playing basketball and kept seeing him around. He always asked me about homework, how everything makes no sense in the class, which was true to an extent, but he obviously had a harder time.
Well, damn.
I don't mean it like that. It wasn't for him. Apparently he was an engineer too at some point.
He was an engineer first, and then all right, we getting too much into this man's backstory. He could explain his own story one day.
It's funny though. But I would just play ball with him like a lot, and then I think you just came one day, and then like this cycle just continued, and then I started seeing you more in diversity and.
Don't even. You skipping a whole bunch of shit. Don't even. No. Okay.
I don't know the middle part.
I'm gonna stop.
I don't know the middle
stop
part.
him.
I don't remember the middle part
because here's how it really went down. So yes, we did meet through a mutual friend, named Unique. I met Unique probably like what is this shit called? Introduction day. Not the first day on campus. The NSL shit. The like orientation. Me and Unique were in the same engineering group or whatever for orientation. Met him. I'm just gonna tell you now. He had a box at that time. Oof. His hair used to be legit. You'll see. We're not talking shit about our friend, but you'll see one day that he doesn't get a shape up a lot. But when we met him, this man's box was clean. But at first, when I met him, I'm not going to get too much into it, but yes, I met him. Then I was in the gym a few times, and then I saw him play 1-on-1. Then he was like, all right, come on, play. Then I met this other black gentleman, Sydney. And I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, cool. Just a heads up, people. I'm a person who reads people a lot, especially when it comes to basketball. And I was just like, okay, maybe play basketball with him like once or twice. And then I think the other time that I saw him, didn't really remember his name like that. Speaking about Mr. Sharfo over there, um, he came to try out for the club basketball team, which was something I was deeply devoted into. I actually wanted to get on the team, but that is another story. It might come out in this episode, might come out in another one. But wanted to walk onto the team, but obviously I wanted to play club first, see how to get into it a little bit. Um, and then first of all, this man comes an hour late to the tryout,
Okay,
and
so
then still expects to make the team.
I didn't expect to make the team.
Okay.
Period. Even if I showed up first when it first started, I kind of just wanted to try, see what the competition was like. I
Okay.
slowly realized that I was both out of shape and not as skilled as everyone. I only showed up
Okay.
uh, that late because I had lab. I was a bio major, so I had chem lab until 8 o'clock.
Dedicated student. Okay.
8 o'clock. I mean, we had to be there. It was
I wasn't shit first semester, but yeah.
but
Uh,
I emailed the the captain. I was like, yeah, like I know the tryouts is to that day, but I get out of lab at like 8:30. Like I don't know, is there like a second day? Do I just come? Like what do I do? He's just like, you can just show up and just see what happens. I was just like, all right. I mean, I didn't work out that day, so I figured either way it'd be some cardio, good runs.
wow.
And did not play very well. Besides in like maybe one drill, but was not playing very well.
Yeah.
Basketball was never my first sport. Or it was my first sport that I played besides like maybe soccer, but it was never my forte. So I wasn't disappointed in the result.
Yeah, he was a lacrosse boy. I'm not going to create that narrative on this platform, but he played lacrosse. But he comes to try out, doesn't do as well, and I'm just like, wow, okay, this young man here. Um, don't really see him much really on campus after that. Just like maybe every now and then playing basketball and stuff. And then I want to say second semester, that's when the relationship starts to jump off a bit because it's like, all right, he's another black man. Um, I'm not gonna get into that part yet, but he's another black man on campus. Uh, he's around or whatever, and then where I would say the friendship kind of took off a little bit is just the basketball. Then we kind of just laughed at similar stuff, and then we would just see each other in passing. And then there's a office on campus for the POCs, people of color, for those who don't know. And I would be in there more often the second semester, and we would try to get Mr. Sarfo to be in there more often second semester. And then the bond just kind of formed there. But I would say it started to become a real thing once me and Numbnuts over there figured out that our birthdays is a day apart. And literally, it's they're like, oh, let's invite it. Like throw a little surprise party in his dorm, or like say,
My best
hey.
friend, my best friend Jamie realized that we got close, and she decided to throw me a surprise party in my room, which was very, very unexpected, especially in regards to my reaction
Yeah, right.
to seeing that. I literally opened the door, and out the first thing I see is my friend Bonnie just in the dark, like smiling. I'm like, yo, what? Like, I put my hands up, like I was about to do something, but
Uh,
I was very.
he was not about to punch a white woman.
Nah, it was into that, and then we didn't hang out that first. I mean, we did for a little bit, but we didn't hang. We didn't like go out together that first birthday. Um,
We tried. We
we
tried.
tried, but it
But
just didn't work out.
no. Okay, see, here you go fabricating the story. Um so it was like, all right, we realized we didn't acknowledge it until later that night. But that happened. People then dispersed from his room. Then me, him, our friend Unique, and our friend Jan was like, yo, let's do something, da da da. Cool. We go to another room. We realized that, okay, your birthday is today, mine is tomorrow. And he was like, oh shit. Then we take pictures and stuff like that. Then they're trying to go out or whatever. I'm also trying to go out, but I'm just kind of like, yeah, like what's the moves or whatever. We go into some person's room. I'm not gonna put the name out there, but we go into that person's room. It's a little weird.
It's
We're
odd. It was
we're
colorful
kind of
though.
like it's very colorful. We're trying to figure out like, okay, what the fuck we're doing. Um, the vibe was off at that point. We still didn't know what was the moves that night. So then I dip off to um another friend, Chanel, aka the producer. Go over to her, get very lit. Um, some people remember that night, some people don't. But it was a very interesting night, I would say, for me. Um,
I ended up just going to, I think it was one of the basketball players' apartments.
yes, a very typical night, sophomore and freshman and sophomore year. But back to the point, that was basically the start of it. Um, at this point, I would say freshman year, I knew that he was a normal person. I didn't realize who he really was until sophomore
I
year.
was
But
a normal. I've been a normal person. It's just
okay, here we go.
I.
Here we go.
It's just he slowly realized how much I go out
No,
and
how much of
compare.
an asshole you are.
I
That's
wasn't an
how much.
asshole.
Yes, how much of an asshole. But I'll get to that part.
Uh,
So it's the freshman year that we hang out more, we eat together more, um, we play basketball and stuff more, and all that. Joke, kid, snap stories all day. Um, and then it gets to a point of like, oh, all right, we gotta move. Hey, you're black, I'm black. Let's move in. We like each other. Hey. So we figure that out, and then our other friend Unique, we're like, hey, let's do this. Another friend Jan, let's do this. We're like, okay, 4 Black kings in one room. Hey, probably never done that before on this campus, but hey, we try to do that. Long story short, doesn't go through. So
Only half of us ended up making it,
the two halves right here.
and then
And then
yeah,
we wind up getting into it with two other gentlemen, um, not POCs, but we were
white guys.
we were okay with them or whatever. But that's when the true journey really began with this friendship here. We started to realize that me and him are very completely different people when it comes to
We
certain
weren't
stuff.
that different. It's
We're
just
not
you.
that different,
We're
but
not. It's just he's more particular about certain stuff than I
I
am, and
am.
I'm more willing to let stuff
It's
go.
called just being a natural human being.
I am a
I'm not saying he's not natural, but I might just be a bit more natural. Well, actually, he might be a bit more natural.
Okay.
Certain things were a bit ripe. Not more so because of us, but he was a little. I had to get him on the sense. I wasn't
The
into
only
candles like
thing
that, but
he just had more fragrances. So
my nose is strong.
he had he always was on everyone about getting Febreze and all these plugins and stuff.
Cause niggas stink.
We literally
If you don't think
we
your own
li-
shit stink, then something wrong with you.
we literally had to like send each other money in terms of buying fragrances for the room. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I get it, but I feel like he's just taking this a little too
Oh,
far.
and also a very magical part of this story that I just completely forgot out. So, as I said earlier, I had dreams and aspirations to walk on to the team, the visual one team. I'm not going to get too much into my skills, but I could have did it if I had particular backup and discipline. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And all you motherfuckers who want to sit there and try to doubt that, just know that my nickname is Game. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my god,
Um,
this
but
is
but yes, I started sophomore year out. So we started out as roommates, and I was on crutches. I had a torn cartilage. So I was on crutches for 6 months of my 3 months of my sophomore year. Couldn't play basketball for 6 months. So dreams went down the toilet. However, the only reason why I bring that up is because this is what truly shows this man's character when it comes to me and his relationship. So not only the cleanliness thing, we also had a bathroom issue. Also because I'm like, yeah, we need to come up with a bathroom cleaning schedule, because we no longer have a communal bathroom that is cleaned by somebody. We have
we
a personal bathroom
we lived
that
in
it,
a suite, so we had our
yes,
own bathroom.
we had our own bathroom. So that was like, all right, cool, got to get cleaning supplies. All I'm going to say to you is that for the first month of us living there, I cleaned the bathroom on one leg.
Okay, all right. Him saying that makes it seem like I'm a worse person than I let off. But the topic of bringing up the bathroom wasn't really brought up that first month.
Oh
So
my
he kind of just took the
gosh.
onus of it. And the thing is,
So I didn't say anything to you those first couple of weeks or so.
the first couple of weeks you're like not very like, all right, we're gonna switch off each time or
Nigga,
whatever.
nigga.
And you also didn't tell our other roommates either. You just kept doing it. So it's
I
just
kind
like,
of thought y'all
and
wouldn't be this nasty though.
it's not like I would. The only reason I didn't clean it myself was because, well, two reasons. One, I kept seeing you clean it, and two, yes, we
Exactly.
that that was one reason, but that wasn't the main reason. The other reason is like, all right, maybe he's just a neat freak or a clean freak, so he wants to be the one to clean the bathroom himself.
People, how many people out there would let somebody on crutches clean the bathroom on one
I'm
leg?
not going to.
I'm just saying. I'm just
I'm just
saying.
okay, but the way it looked like, it seemed like because if you're willing to clean the bathroom on crutches, which is basically one leg, maybe I'm in my head, I'm like, all right, he probably wants it cleaned a specific way, and he doesn't trust anyone else to clean it. So even if I offer, he's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna clean it.
He didn't
So
offer.
I
He
I
didn't
didn't
offer.
offer because it seemed like he wanted to clean it.
Any sympathetic person would be like, "Hey, bro, you want me to help you out, or like it's good?" Not, nope, nope. So we get into that, and I literally have to yell at all three of these motherfuckers to be like, "Yo, we gotta be on a bathroom cleaning schedule. Here, we gotta chip in the August supplies. We all gotta do this so that we can make sure that the bathroom is clean, so that we don't stink. This shit don't stink or whatever, because niggas might got guests or whatever. You don't want nobody coming in there smelling like shit. Obviously, throughout the year, the fucking bathroom smelled wild, but I tried eventually we tried our best to make sure that the bathroom was done.
We
But
cleaned. We switched off cleaning
it took a
eventually.
very long time for him to get on the same page. A lot of yelling, which you also don't know. Some
I
people who knew us at that time, we yelled a lot, mainly me yelling at him because Yeah.
It wasn't. Okay, we're gonna get off this bathroom thing because we can go all day about this.
All right, well,
But
get off the bathroom thing, but let's
but
get into the part where how disrespectful he is, and I was still on crutches.
oh my god. Okay,
So,
well, I'm gonna address the yelling thing. So a lot of people, we're gonna get into the actual college aspect about this, but a lot of people misunderstand when we yell at each other. A lot of the times when we're yelling at each other, it's just passionate conversation. It's not like we're viscerally mad at the
uh,
other person.
well, sometimes it does.
There are times we were, and if you knew us well enough, you could tell if we were actually viscerally upset at the other person. But a majority of the time, it was more just so like just heated conversations. It's not
People,
like I'm gonna punch this nigga in the face or some shit like that.
there were a few times though,
It was a few times on
but
both sides, but
now people know. Now people know they all sophomore year. They was just like, "Oh my god, stop arguing!" It was just like, "We're not fucking arguing.
that shit with me so tight.
You need to relax. We're not arguing. It's just our octaves are a bit high, but no.
But
But
in terms of his crutches, I am going to explain at
get the
least
disclaimer. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
going to explain
Mm-hmm.
the one time that I know
Mm-hmm.
you're going to bring up.
I
He's
mean,
going
I have two in
to
mind right now
I
that are
know there's
very
two in
strong.
mind, but I'm going to bring up the one that's more blatant. Well,
Okay.
they're both pretty blatant, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first one. Okay, so one weekend, um, we can't disclose our school, or we're choosing not to, but it was a school that was more famous for Saturday. Like if it's
Party
nice
heavy.
out, day parties. If it's a nice sunny day outside on a Saturday, people are gonna be out drinking. Doing what
Drink responsibly.
God knows what. So there are times that I would go a lot of times. So that would require it wouldn't
Every
require
weekend.
it would so if I knew I was gonna go, I liked to I didn't get up crazy early, but I got up earlier than I normally would. I would get up around like probably like 10
Mm-hmm.
o'clock.
Yeah.
And he's usually getting up around like 11 or 12 to go eat.
Yeah.
So seeing that we were roommates and we kind of ate on the same schedule, we would just go and eat together. So
Also,
for
because I physically could not hold my own plate
no, I
at that
know. Well,
particular time.
that too, but like even before we lived together, like we would just end up eating together a lot because we kind of ate around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So once we moved together and seeing that he couldn't get his own food, we kind of started going together. So one Saturday, I set an alarm
Mm-hmm.
for about like 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
9:15, something like that.
Yeah.
So I get ready, shower, all that stuff, and in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna go leave,
I'm
eat,
awake this entire
come.
time, by the way.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna get ready, go eat, and then come back, chill a little bit, and then be out to whatever antics I'm doing later,
Yeah.
thinking that he's asleep.
Not worried about
So
his
I'm
crippled friend at all.
so so to make it sound better, I wasn't trying. My purpose wasn't to be like, all right, I
Mm-hmm.
don't care about getting this dude's food or whatever.
No.
In my head, I'm like, all right, yes, I do get his food majority of the time, but
Mm-hmm.
I figured that he also had. Well, he did have a lot of friends on campus, so I figured he would. If he woke
I'm
up
a
and saw
fly
me,
guy. So
if he woke up and saw me not there, he would, just probably just text someone like, "Hey, you want to go eat?" Because I kind of need
still
the
would have
help.
spazzed on his ass too.
So, so I'm about to leave the room. I open the door and I
Mm-hmm.
forget what he said, but
Oh, I know
he
exactly what the fuck I
was
said.
it was along the lines of so you just gonna leave?
Yep.
And I turn around, I'm just like,
I
uh
thought you were asleep. This motherfucker, literally, I'm sitting there while he getting ready and all that. I'm saying because I'm like, all right, I'm not a heavy sleeper, so it's like once you start doing a whole lot of shit, I know like I'm like, all right, I'm up, and then I'm sitting there like tossing and turning and shit, and then I'm like, all right, let me keep my back turned so and see if I'm in my head. I'm like, is this nigga really about to get up and move, and leave or whatever, knowing that like I need this Negro to get me food and shit. So I'm sitting there like, like maybe he just getting dressed or whatever, waiting for me to get up or something like that to be like, yo, get up. I'm about to go put some clothes on so we get breakfast real quick. Uh, no, no, literally. I'm like, all right, okay, let me see. It sound like this nigga about to really leave or whatever. So I hear the door open, and I'm just like, so my nigga, you really about to leave? I thought you was asleep. I'm like, nigga, fuck out of here. You knew damn well. I'm like, yeah, you ain't know I was up, but you was really about to just real life leave. Yeah, he gave you the PC version. No, that ain't how it go down. I'm really like, this nigga really going to sit here and leave? I'm like, yes, I had other people to get it, but obviously he's number one option because it's right there or whatever. And other people, first of all, I didn't like this idea whatsoever. I don't like, if you know me, I don't like relying on anybody for anything. So it was just at that point in time, I literally, if you saw me at that time, I couldn't really hold the plate and like crutch. The floor was slippery. I slipped a couple times. We're not gonna get into that, but yes, it was a difficult time. So I'm really like, this man really gonna leave. And I really wasn't trying to hit up other people because some people be taking all day. I'd be hungry. And
Yeah.
you hit somebody up, they'd be like, all right, I'm going at this time, or I already went. And I'm just like, so I relied on this man a lot. Plus, we had similar schedules or whatever. And if not, majority of the time, if we didn't, majority of the time, somebody else would already be in there or would already offer to kind of take me up there. But this time, I'm just like, this man is really an asshole. He just gonna leave like that?
That
Ain't
was the
even
only
say nothing.
that was the only time I ever did that. I'm just gonna put that out there.
All right, but either way, this is how this the relationship started off good. But when you got at first, I'm sitting there like, all right, it's really true. Don't be roommates with your friends. However, he was black. I enjoyed his time. We enjoyed each other's company, whether people think that or not. And based on the PWI we went to, it was kind of like, all right, I don't have much other choice because some of us were dropping like flies, and I was just like, all right, okay,
When he says it
cool.
like that, it sounds great.
What?
Well, when you say it like, oh, I kind of had no other choice to be friends with him, you know.
Okay, I don't mean it like that. Okay, but at the end of the day, he's the asshole in this situation. I'm not. I understand that I'm an asshole. Okay, he
I
does not.
have
He does
asshole
not.
moments,
No,
and
every day.
the moments have declined readily
Okay.
since sophomore year.
There just wasn't a lot senior year. That's all. It just wasn't that many seniors. There were quite a few. There, but either way, that's a summary of how we met. There's clearly a long story, different stories that we can get into day to day. I'm not going to get into the other atrocious story. I'm not going to blast this character today. About the other story that
That's
involved me and the crutches.
we can talk about that when we talk about
But
bro code.
in terms of college, that's just how we met and stuff like that. So overall, I would start, sir, with did you enjoy your college experience?
I Yes, especially in the situation that we were placed in, being one of maybe I don't even know how many black guys in total.
20,
Yeah, 20.
1 in
Wow,
20
it was
maybe.
20. I didn't even
Well,
name
shit, I ain't
20.
even gonna say 20. It was probably like, oh, at freshman year, it was probably like maybe 30 of us on campus. Then that number just kept getting smaller.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people just kept transferring because they just realized. Because what usually happened is either like, all right, it was people like really wanting to go to school for a long time, and they come there, and it's just like it's a great school. Like they have a lot of amenities, but you know, a good amount of them were built towards white people, so or cater more to white people. So it was kind of hard navigating that. So people would decide to leave or whatever. Um, but you know, I never really had a problem like terms of like academics or socially stuff like that. I had an overall pretty good time. I mean, granted, I was kind of different then. I don't know why you laughing, yo.
You know I'm not.
I
Please say it
I
before I say it. Jesus Christ. Because I don't
nah.
want to do that to you again. I'm
I'm
not going
a
to do that to you
I'm gonna
here.
lose my train of thought, but you could say it after.
Okay.
I was kind of used to it, seeing that like I went to private school like all my life, so private Catholic school. Um,
In Boston.
in yeah, Boston, Mass. But I mean, my high school was all boys, but it was, to be honest, when I came in,
Sausage Fest.
it was. Listen, it was a fun time. Um,
Whoa. Hey,
Not
yo.
like that,
Hey,
yo. Oh my
yo.
god, it's not even like that. But it was a. I enjoyed my time there, and then like coming to Fairfield, it was honestly like it was kind of like that, except you know
Oh, wait,
a
hold up.
lot.
Too comfortable. Hold up. I'm going to pause you. This is just a question for the people. At any point in time, are you comfortable being in your underwear around
Oh
another
my
man?
god,
I'll just
it's
leave that
not
there.
that serious.
Go
And
ahead.
he's referring to the one
Continue.
time. I'm gonna continue, but he's referring to the one time. It was probably
Multiple.
it
The
was the
first, like,
first. It
first,
was
like,
the first.
month.
It was the first night we stayed over there,
Oh, my God.
and I we're like chilling in our room. Like I wasn't really going out yet, and I wanted to lay in my bed, so I had shorts on, so I took my shorts off, and I had boxers, and I just hopped in bed,
No
and then
shirt,
this
anything.
and. He looks at
I'm
me.
staring at it
He
for like a
looks at
good
me. He's
five
like,
minutes.
"Yo, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you not gonna put nothing on?" I was just like, "Nigga, I'm just here. I'm just chilling. It's my room. Like, what's good?" He's like, "Nah, you gotta put some short. You gotta at least put some shorts on, like a tank top." And I was just like, "Bruh." But then I brought it up to other friends. Then a good amount of them agreed with me, but he's just like, "Nah, I'm good off that.
No,
We're not gonna
we
do
don't do it.
that."
Look, you don't do that out here. I don't know if they do that in Boston, but out here in Philly, we don't do all that. It ain't
Uh,
nothing which in that spectrum. It's just, bro, come on, put some clothes on. If you built like that, you could take your shirt off. But come on.
but overall, I did enjoy my time. I think I made a lot of good friends, both of color and white. But yeah, I enjoyed my time. I didn't really have no negative like events happen to me, like some other people did, whether they were white or people of color. But that really never happened to me. So I tried to make it so like other people like me also had a good time on campus. So if like new freshmen who were black had a question about anything, like I try to answer it. But I enjoyed my time.
Oof.
I made the best of my time. Let's put it that way. And yourself, I feel like yours is very mixed. It's either
What do
mixed
you
or like
mean mixed?
I feel like yours is either mixed or just like the polar opposite.
No, I wouldn't change that regard. I wouldn't change that at all. I I mean, I have my gripes about it, but I wouldn't change it simply because I believe shit happens for a reason. And if I would have went somewhere else, I wouldn't did certain things and met certain people. So that's why I don't necessarily regret it. Sure, do I wish certain things played out in a different way? Yes. Do I believe the percentage of black men on campus was higher, or black people in general was higher? But um, I kind of knew that walking into it, but I didn't know it would be that low. But to answer the question, I would say my experience was well. I wouldn't trade it for anything because, like I said, it gave me certain opportunities that I probably don't think I would have been able to. The reason why I wanted to go was because it wasn't in my comfort zone. I didn't want to necessarily be around my comfort zone of home or whatever because I knew that would allow me to explore, expand my horizon and all that stuff. So I just was like, let me go here, experience something new. Hopefully, I get a good sense of friends and stuff like that. What I fucked up with at first was that I thought it would be kind of the same sort of friend transition at high school, but PWI and damn near majority Black and Hispanic high school is completely different acclamation. So it's like you're not gonna walk in, you're gonna walk in the classroom and it's gonna be just you or whatever. You're not gonna walk in and see such that live in the same neighborhood as you or such that know similar shit about you. And that was both a good and a bad thing. But at first it took me a minute to like acclimate to like, all right, I'm not back in Philly no more. To where a corner store is accessible. I could get
Yeah,
a cheese
haircuts.
haircuts. I could get a cheesesteak, a hoagie whenever I want, and stuff like that. Wawa, which he now knows about. Um, but it was just like it took me a minute to acclimate or whatever at first because I'm like trying to make friends the same way I made them in high school, which that just doesn't apply. People ain't the same. People don't do the same stuff and all that. People don't got the same interest and all that. So that was an issue at first, but I would say overall, I'm cool with it because of the people I met, the things I went through, the stuff that I did or whatever. Whereas though a lot of people, probably our friends, would probably be like, "Yeah, I would have gone to such and such if I could do it all over again, or I would have gone to wherever." And I'm just like, "Nah, it is what it is." I chose this place strategically. The only thing I really didn't know was that the percentage of Black people would be low, very low. But would I regret it? No. What did I enjoy myself? Absolutely. And I think that just made the friendships that we actually created over that time even more like useful because it due to that you had to kind of like unionize and be closer and stuff like that. And I felt like it
You had to
created,
figure shit out.
yeah,
Basically, you just
like
had to figure shit out.
it made shit long lasting and made shit like worthwhile and stuff like that.
Just had to
So
had to figure a lot of shit out. I mean,
yeah,
there was a time where I thought I was like, maybe I should have applied. Like, because when I was applying to college, I was kind of one of those people who didn't realize like how I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I didn't realize like how you know unique my application was, um, which could have got me to a lot of other schools that may have been like better in terms of name. Um, but that was just out of fear. But like looking back on it, I don't think I would have just chose to come back to school we went to. Um, but I probably would have visited. I probably would have done one of the programs because they offered a lot of programs you could stay for a little bit during the summer, and usually those were dominated by like people of color or the few people of color who were coming to campus. I probably would have done that just so because my first semester, I didn't have a lot of friends of color besides maybe like Unique, our other friend Jan, and then like himself later on during first semester, um, and then a couple of girls here and there. But I wasn't really hanging out with them like on the regular. It was kind of just in passing. Majority of my friends were either guys in my class, chicks in my class, or um, like just teammates or eventual teammates because I ended up playing the club lacrosse over there. So I probably would have. I also would have joined the Black Student Union earlier. It's funny, and I always denied this when people told me. I went to the table and I signed up, but like I just never like read the emails, so I just never ended up going um, until they started bringing me. Uh, But
Forcing
yeah,
you.
yeah, forcing me to come. And it's not that I didn't. It's not that it's like I'm having anything against it. It's just like I don't know. It just wasn't my scene at the time. And I just realized they just be talking about real stuff, so I just kept going.
Yes.
Um,
Um, Go ahead.
but yeah, you just had to figure shit out, like getting haircuts as or getting your hair done in general as black people was kind of a hassle down there. We both, you know, spent lots of money and wasted copious amounts of times getting subpar. I don't even want to say subpar haircuts. Um, Literally, we both went to a haircut, had an appointment planned out, and
Oh
we
wow,
were
you're
there
talking
for
about
like
that.
5 hours. We got there at about I want to say 1 o'clock. We didn't get back till around dinner,
About
and
6 o'clock, six
yeah,
6:30.
6. And you would think if you're waiting that long, like your haircut would come out like crazy, but it just didn't. It was
No,
just
nope,
a very
nope, nope, nope,
subpar, below subpar
nope.
haircut, which we were very upset about. I
Yep.
literally went home. I was like, why did I pay for this?
Yep.
Like, I don't know why I paid
The
for
only
this.
good thing about it was that we got a free ride,
Yeah,
to and back.
yeah.
But that's a good man. He was learning at that time.
No, he was a cool dude.
Um,
Like, he was a funny dude, but
yeah,
it just took too long. And
he
then,
got better over the years, but
yeah.
it was tough. I probably didn't get a haircut. Probably I want to say the first like month and a half of school
What?
freshman year. Yeah,
Nah, I got a haircut because I knew I got a haircut the day before I came to campus. So that lasted me like a good 2 weeks.
yeah.
And then I waited another week. So it was like 3 weeks. I'm like, damn, I'm looking crazy. So I found this place in like Norwalk.
Oh
Um,
wow.
but I didn't really understand Uber or Lyft at that time.
I
So
fucking hate Uber.
I didn't understand those apps at the time because like I live in Boston. I live in like the city, so I was taking the train and
Same.
bus everywhere. Where Connecticut, it's not really like that, especially where we were at suburbs, so there was really no trains or buses. Just catch anywhere. The only bus that we really knew about was our campus bus that took us into town. And even if it took you to town, like to get anywhere else, you'd have to take the train, hop off the train, and then either Uber or find some other way of transportation after that. But I downloaded Uber, pretty sure it was Uber at the time, and they gave me like a discount for like the first few rides. So the ride to and from Norwalk wasn't that bad, but in um what's it called? To give perspective, where the haircut was about like 30, 40 minutes from the school. Well, no, it was like sorry, it was like 25, 30 minutes. Which is a good amount for Uber. So I had to pay that both ways because I was by myself. I didn't really know no black people to go get a haircut with. So I went by myself. It was a really good cut, but it was just like I can't do this every 2 weeks. Like I don't really make money like that here, besides my work study. Um, so I got that, and then after that, I was like, all right, I can't go there. So I found somewhere else, like closer to campus. It's a white dude. I don't know why I let him. I don't know why I let him do that. He fucked my shit up, crazy. And I literally asked. I was like,
Wow.
yo, and it was wild because I'm like, all right, he can't be that bad. So, because like another black dude with braids came in and he just got. I mean, Grant, he just got a shape up. So and his turned out pretty fine. But I asked for like a fade. I just asked him to fade me out and just shape me up. And it was the worst fade I've ever seen in my life. And I still had to Uber back. So like that was probably my most annoying like adjusting part of like being black on PWI, like just especially in a suburban area, just find a barber. it was just like it's just. I mean, once you find a barber, you also gotta find people to go to the barber with. Because like, if you go and then like they don't like their haircut, now you just gotta go by yourself.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to have cars on campus. At that time, I didn't even have a car anyway, so it didn't
Yeah,
matter.
I didn't have a license, so it really didn't matter for me. And we didn't really know any upperclassmen like that.
Well, we
So
knew him. We just didn't know him enough to be like,
yeah,
"Hey, take us."
yeah. So
Um, but yeah,
wait, what would you say was the most annoying part, like just in the campus? Personally, with me, is the haircut thing. I
I wasn't as bothered with the haircut because we found out about not me, you, we, but I'm not going to use that word yet, but me and some other people found out about the guy or whatever pretty early on, and we would always Uber and go or whatever there, so it wasn't too far from campus, and sometimes he would pick us up and stuff, so it wouldn't be that bad at first. So I would say that my hardest transition really was just like honestly, and this is very petty, but the fact that one, I couldn't go to the store and go to the corner store, and the fact that nobody know how to make a hoagie or a cheesesteak, um, that's what pissed me off. I would say the most in terms of like the stuff, because like the friend thing, that was just something I had to learn along the way. But at first, like Barone, I would say is lit. Um, I appreciate I appreciate our first cafeteria better than our updated cafeteria. Yes, the pizza was better with the updated cafeteria. There was more options and sandwich variations and stuff like that. However, the atmosphere and all that shit was just better. But nobody knew how to really make a hoagie. And God knows people know how to make a fucking cheesesteak. Um, I literally ordered a cheesesteak from a place. First of all, they use like pure ribeye meat, which is just not how you make a cheesesteak. You can use it, but it's not supposed to be that thick. I asked for pickles on it. They just got like a fucking dill pickle, chopped that bitch up into threes and just threw it on a sandwich. They put American yellow cheese on it, not
and
under
then
it.
oh,
They put it on it,
dang.
and they had raw onions. I asked for fried onions. They like sauteed the onions and just threw it on the sandwich. And I'm just like, this is disgusting. And I'm like,
Oh
I paid
god.
money for it or whatever and all that. But the most annoying thing was Uber. And this is why I hated Uber. The very first time I used Uber, I had to pay $35.
For what?
Here's
To go
why.
where?
There's a beach near our school. Sid mentioned the day parties and things like that. So obviously the day parties on Saturday would be very lucrative at the beach. I wasn't really into the parties and stuff like that. I wasn't the party person. And then like the first week of school, the people where the party was normally be on campus, they tried to be dickhead, and they was like, "Oh, you ain't gonna get to no party just like that." I'm like, "My nigga, shut up, bro," because I had on sweatpants, and you literally could pop up. You could walk into a party with anything, and nobody cares. Only people that really got dressed up is women, unfortunately. Um, but I'm like, this is not me. I never really wanted to get into the party thing. I would experience it. I'd do what I need to do if I wanted to, but I wasn't pressed to do it. But one day, it was Saturday, came back from breakfast or whatever, wasn't playing basketball that day, but a few of my like engineering friends was like, "Hey, you trying to go to the beach?" And I was like, "All right, cool." We get there. As soon as we get there, the beach gets shut down. So when I say I was there for probably like 10 minutes, it was agreed upon as we got there that, all right, I would pay for the Uber back. If y'all know, Uber says the first ride is free. Back then, they said the first ride is free. They did not say first ride is free with a code. They said the first ride is free. So I'm like, all right, first ride free. Granted, now everybody and their mom is in this area and trying to get back to campus. So
Yeah,
the
so the
surge
surge
was
was
timed
wild.
for. It was probably like $7 or $8 trip, but the surge was timed for. So I'm sitting there like, all right, cool. I'll pay for it because it's free. Bitch said $35. I'm just like, all right, it's not gonna come out my shit. I check my fucking account later, $35 is missing. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this? I then complained back to Uber. I'm like, yo, y'all advertise first ride is free. Person trying to be like, oh, well, you got to put in the
You put in
code
the code.
and all that. They reimbursed me $20, but I'm like, you
Still
still,
skimped you for 15.
exactly. And if you paid attention to Uber early on, they said first ride free. They did not say first ride free with the code,
Yeah, I
none of
never
that.
had that problem.
And I'm just like, why do I gotta pay? So I hated Uber. I literally hated Uber. I didn't like that first year. Uber Eats was probably just popping off, maybe 2017 for real, for real. It didn't really get into it later.
Found out about all this shit in college. I did
I
not know what any of this shit was.
I strategically used Grubhub just due to my hatred for Uber. Like the first year and a half of college, and I was like, that's a terrible experience. I used it based on other people. Like I didn't really go anywhere using Uber myself. But yes, that's probably the most annoying thing my first year. But also another reason why I would say it wasn't as bad for me just starting out is because I had a good support system going. I chose this school because it was a partner school to my high school. Just do like the network and stuff like that. So I got a scholarship that way. I had met and became friends with a couple of people in the admissions office prior to a camp that the school had junior year of high school. So I knew a few people that way. Um, One of our friends today actually went. Well, two of our friends actually went to that camp. Went to that camp alongside me and wound up going to the school. Uh, and so I just came in knowing a few people already and just had people to talk to and stuff like that, and then just the engineers and things like that. Even though I was literally at that time I was one of three, graduated one of one. But
Hey, you
I
finished, man.
yeah,
You're
but I
breaking boundaries.
fair point. But I would say just the support system is what kind of kept me around. Support system, friends, and stuff like that. Because I knew the environment and I knew it was what I was getting into. And fortunately enough, I didn't have to deal with any direct situations and stuff like that. And probably because I'm a 6'3" black man who most people thought played on the basketball team. So
I mean, most people thought if you were black, thought you played on the basketball team.
or some sort of sport.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, it was really just basketball because that's the only black sport that people would play there. We didn't have track. We didn't have, well, we had cross country, but how many black people is running cross country?
You'd be surprised in the South.
That's down south though. Up here, it's usually like everybody be just doing a track or some type of, outdoor sport, outdoor field sport, or soccer. Yeah, so it's either soccer or if you were black and looked some type of athletic, you either were mistaken as a basketball player or a soccer player. The
Hey,
amount
do
of
you play on
time,
the basketball team?
the amount of times that I would get a weird look every time said I played club lacrosse as a black man was
And
funny. It
and
was very funny to me.
the fucked up part for me is that I actually aspired to do that, which is it's just
So you were just like, nah, man, get the
no,
fuck out of here.
because it literally my thing is like going into it, I didn't know about microaggressions, but I definitely realized them after the fact. Because some people would literally like their first thing they would say to you would literally just be like, "Hey, you play for the basketball team?" And then what made it worse is that my answer would always be like, "No, but I want to." Or like, oh no, but I play for the club team or whatever. So it just it didn't help that I literally played into the stereotype because it was something I had a passion for. But it would always be interesting just seeing some people just like, are they going to start with this or are they going to start with academics and stuff like that? But I don't.
I
It's
don't know.
interesting.
I there are times I want to be like, yeah, I play on the team. Yeah, I play on the team.
Like, yeah, I'm number 12. I'm number 12 out
I'm
there.
just hurt. I
Yeah.
mean, it came sort of more often when I became the manager because I was wearing the gear all the time. So it'd be like, oh, you on the team? And it'd be like, I could say I'm a manager, but I could just say I'm on IR. It's not like they know the difference.
Here we go.
But I was usually truthful and just said I was a manager. Um, I never really used that as an advantage. It was just kind of like a thing I did, just a hobby. And I don't know why this brings up the question, but is a question I have to yourself and to other, viewers out there who are, black men, dark skinned men. He's like he claims he's light skinned, but he's
Who the fuck claims they light skin? I
you
just say
you be saying
I
you light
at
skinned,
some
yo.
point
You
and I
not
never
light
okay
skinned.
see okay now this is where you're coming at my character completely. No, I say at one point in time I used to say that I'm brown skinned, not completely dark skinned. There's nothing wrong with being dark skinned. They didn't believe me when I said I used to be a light skinned baby.
Okay,
I showed them pictures
most
of me
people.
being a light skinned baby. Over the course of my life, I just got darker. There's nothing wrong with that. There ain't no colorism or colorist shit over here. So don't even try it. If we get a little clout or whatever famous and the niggas try to play this clip back and make it a sound bite, I'm vividly saying ain't nobody colorist out here. I know what the fuck I am. Uh,
But
but
to
at one
my
point, I used to be like, yes, I'm brown. I'm brown skin. I still consider myself dark caramel. Okay, I'm dark caramel.
it's a dark caramel. You're just thinking of synonyms for brown, the dark brown. Anyways, my question to those in our shoes and to yourself: how was navigating campus as a black man in terms of courting women?
Oh, you got
Because
looked at up and down.
so because I asked this because there was a certain notion that I had going in, not that I created myself, but from what I heard from other people tell me,
Mm.
being like, you know,
It's like
PW
playing Russian roulette out there.
going to PWI, which
Mm.
was majority female, or
Yes.
yes, female. Um, you there's this notion that it will be much easier for you in terms of acquiring
I
women.
don't believe I adapted to that. Maybe because I was oblivious, but I understand what you're saying. Okay, if you're the certain hype black man on a PWI, especially if you play basketball or are associated with the basketball team in some way, shape, or form, which I was both, it could be acclimated that it is rather an easy game to get women because either some people claim that they are easy or they want to get the
Check
black
that
strike,
box.
get that black strike,
I had one
or
chick. I had one experience where I was a checkbox.
yeah,
I was a
some
check. I was viscerally told, not viscerally. I wasn't told I was a checkbox. What happened was, it was freshman year. We hooked up, and like we didn't like. All right, let me just keep it as we hooked up. We hooked up,
It's the B.A.G
and
podcast.
we
Get
we
into it.
we hooked up, and she basically said some. I don't remember exactly, but she said something along the lines of, "Oh my god, like you're like my first black guy," and I was just like, "Whoa, this is crazy! What the fuck?"
Ah.
Oh my god! But it was crazy because she's like, I know she didn't mean it in a way that's like degrading,
Yeah.
but it was just like, you like can't say that, like
Yeah.
you can't say that to my face. Like you can say that, you could probably say that to like your girls or something. Don't say that to me.
I would say it's hard. It's even worse in this climate now. Um, Back then, 2016, 2017, it was hit or miss, to be honest, because I don't know. Depending on our listeners, what was it?
There's a
Tyler Perry's Daddy's Little Girl. If you watch the beginning of that movie, that is a fear that a lot of black men have. Um, I had that, but I didn't have it to the extreme. I only had one interaction in that regard, but it wasn't it was established before shit even got to that point. I never just had a random hookup. But to answer your question, it it's really Russian roulette with that because you don't know if you're gonna get that one. You don't know if you're gonna get the one that's down with the cause that actually may want to do this for good reasons and not to check the box off. But I wouldn't say I explored or took advantage of the aspect of, all right, I know I'm a black man and some of these people are either more down than the POCs or just willing to check that box off or just want to get with me because of clout. I didn't really take advantage of that, more so just because I was probably oblivious to the situation. Um, and just didn't believe in myself at that much at that point at that time. So
no, I
nah.
was I was just chilling. Like I like it kept getting brought up to me by both friends I started to make and like people from back home. Um, but I never like moved in a way that was like, all right, I'm black, like I'm about to get mad bitches. It was more so like I'm just
Yeah,
here. I'm
yeah,
just here. If it happens, it happens.
exactly. Hopefully, I
Um,
find somebody.
yeah, if it happens, it happens. Like, and I kind of realized that like seeing that it didn't happen like right away. Because I was also told like, oh, like, dude, first week is just wild, which it is. Like, because I mean, I can say that more
Mm,
so because I went out more often and saw
yeah,
certain stuff. So I saw some wild stuff, but but it's also like it depends on like those people because it's like the one conception that one I don't want to say it's a misconception because it's low key true is like people are way more willing to hook up with each other like the first week, which is very fair. Seeing that most people's like first time away from home, from wherever they're living, like they don't have to worry about parents or anyone of importance besides maybe like a professor or something or their RA, and even that it's like your RA is usually pretty chill. Um, but I didn't really get that because like I wasn't like doing that stuff. Um, I wasn't doing that stuff like that early on. It really didn't happen for me like until like a month or two in. So I was like really just chilling, like just going out. Um, but there were some times it was just like, wow, like this is what it's like being a black guy.
I had an
All these white
experience
people.
at one of my first couple of parties. It was a moment. It was a moment. One thing that people thought was very weird of me, that freshman year, which I knew my own identity. I didn't want to acclimate to anybody else's or try to fit in where I can or whatever. I was like, you're not going to change me, and I'm going to do what the fuck I want. Um, and so, um, if I wore something on Friday, I would choose. I would try to strategically wear good shit on Friday just in case I did want to go out. And stuff like that. So people be like, "Oh, you're not going to change." What the fuck am I changing for? Like, no, because I'll change when I go back in the crib or whatever, or take a shower or whatever. I'm not going to sit here and put on extra shit or throw that shit on to be in a sweaty ass party. Um, and I will always carry. I'm a possessive person when it comes to my materials, and I don't like people touching my stuff. So I would carry my fully loaded book bag from the day with me to the party,
I
first couple of
don't
parties freshman
know
year.
why this nigga did
A
this.
lot of people thought I was very weird, but I was just like, I'm not walking all the way back to my room, and I am not leaving my stuff with anybody because you leave your stuff with somebody, you get separated. You don't know where they at. You don't got the key to get in the room, and you need your shit and all that. I don't like leaving my stuff with other people. Goes back to the thing of me depending on other people and shit.
No,
So
I'll give you that because freshman guys would bring backpacks out sometimes, but usually it was just to carry alcohol. It wasn't to carry
I had my laptop
books.
and all in there, so I would just
This
keep shit in there.
nigga
People would be like, "Yo, why you bringing all this?"
was
I had my
wildin'.
hoodie, vest on, and all that in the party. I just put it in the corner if it got to that point.
Oh
But I literally would
God,
be in the party with the backpack on, squeezing past people, and then
you that nigga.
one of my friends who was on the basketball team was like, "Yo, bro, why you always coming with the backpack?" I'm like, "Bro,
Exactly.
I like to keep my shit
Go
or
to your
whatever."
room and then just come back out.
Look, I didn't have that much access to alcohol and things like that freshman year. Drink
Yeah.
responsibly, but not saying I did anything illegal. But I didn't have any desire to go back to my room. I just met up with people and then we went on. And
Jesus
it was one
Christ.
particular instance. It was one night where I say it was a special night. Um, there was a woman who kind of changed my life a little bit. It was one party or whatever. We sitting there and like obviously you get in a party, you see some people throwing it back to some music, you try to slide up behind that. I would say
Uh,
that at this point in my life, a woman actually took advantage of me. And I don't mean in that way, it was in a good way. I was just standing there. She was doing her thing. I get behind her. It
do I
gets
know
on
this
it.
chick?
I didn't know her. I
Oh,
didn't know
it's
her.
just a rando.
It was a random. She just saw me and just saw that I was there, and
She was white.
she would yes, just throwing it back, and I mean it
That's
was nice.
crazy.
It was not just throwing it back, just going doing her thing. I'm just sitting there like at one point she literally had me on the trash can, just like leaning, just like whoa, like all right, cool. Do your thing, shorty. Like and when I say it was for about a good 15 minutes, we going strong, song after song. And I'm just like, whoa, she grabbing me, rubbing my face and all that. Da, da, da.
That was another thing. I feel like I don't know why, but like they were just so much more like like cool, like just okay with just touching your face or just touching you.
Yeah, I was very like lost in the moment. I didn't get a good look at her face, but because it was a little dark, but she also just wasn't turning around. And she's just throwing it back and all that shit. Then I lock eyes with my man's Curtis. Shout out Curtis. Me and him lock eyes, dap up. And that was a moment. Since that moment, me and him have been friends. But he transferred, sadly, due to
uh
coaching issues or whatever.
shout out Curtis Mass Boy.
Uh,
Um
I'm not finished.
what's-
Hold on. And I'm just like, and she gets off, and then I'm like, damn. I'm like, where you going? She just like dip off. She surely probably don't remember that night. I don't remember her face. I couldn't even tell you what the woman looked like if she was standing in front of me right now. Um, so, but it was an experience, and I was just like, wow. I was just like, wow, I've had better as the years progressed, but that was the first one, and I was just like, this is we're going places. We're going places here, and this is with backpacking. This backpacking all,
You had a
backpacking all,
backpack on during this?
backpacking all. So it's
What the
y'all could talk
fuck?
whatever y'all want to talk about. Me and my backpack,
Oh
but I
my
got it done with
god.
the backpack on.
She solely did that because you were black. I'm
You don't know
sorry.
that. You don't know
If
that.
she if you were a white guy with a backpack on, she would not have given you the type of day. I'm
You don't
sorry.
know that.
Nah, that's weird. I'm not with the whole. I'm not with the backpack thing. I really only had the backpack on for
I
the sake of
learned. I
carrying.
learned. I would
Okay,
come to parties with winter coats on. People would look at me crazy.
this.
I'm like, I'm not walking to no. I'm not. It's about 20 degrees outside. I ain't about to walk out here with just a thermal on. You be in the party all sweating and shit. Do you walk outside? This is how you get sick. No, I walk in, take my jacket off, put it in the corner where I know ain't nobody at, and then I once it's time to leave or the party gets shut down, I go get my jacket. I ain't gonna be cold walking, taking that walk back, especially sophomore year.
I have no comment on this.
Exactly, because his ass was cold. That's why.
I was cold, but niggas was drunk enough and that
And
they
then
didn't
and
bother
then the
them.
saying, if you ain't in college yet, or you
Hoes
are,
don't get cold.
hoes don't get cold. Hoes they get cold, but
They
they
go
don't
fight.
acknowledge it.
They
They'll
go
fight
fight
it.
through it.
I've seen some women walk out with spaghetti strap tank tops and stuff like that, 30 degrees. Alcohol will warm you up, but it ain't gonna warm you up that much.
I mean, they're not gonna get in with a parka, huh?
Look,
But listen, I did my best. That's why, excuse me, I tried to find comfortable sweaters, going out sweaters
he
to
wore the
wear.
worst shit
It
possible, people.
wasn't bad. It was
He didn't
once.
get a
It was.
sense of style until I want to say maybe senior year.
It wasn't. That's OD.
Recently now he has a better sense of style.
Oh my god.
But I think that's due to his current relationship. You see, he got the link on the mini link on, the skinny link. But he ain't never been rocking like that shit. And maybe in a month or so, if his mom let him, he might pop up with the earrings. Like I don't know what he's gonna get into.
She told me to get earrings though. Not my mom, my girlfriend.
I see she changing this man.
I'm
Like
not gonna get them unless I like move out or
stop
something.
being pussy.
I don't want. I don't need that problem right now.
What you mean you don't need that problem,
I
bruh?
don't need that
Why is it a
argument
problem?
because
Why is it a problem?
it's just looked down
Y'all wear a lot
upon.
of jewelry back where you from.
Yes, but it's not customary for guys to have earrings or
We are
piercings
in
in
a new
general.
century, defy social norms and
This
cultural
is
norms.
this is a fair point, but this is a discussion for another day. But I do want to get a tattoo. I do
Get
want to
that
get a
tag.
tattoo. It's just a matter of what.
Get it up.
It's just a matter of what. I think I got two.
Get a tattoo that means something. Don't get no bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I really want to think about it. But back to college. I want to ask you this because I know you dealt with this firsthand. I dealt with it firsthand too, but I feel like yours was more disrespectful isn't the word, like just like slapped in the face. The fact that our school was so small and everyone knew everyone, even if you didn't think everyone knew everyone. So your business, you think your business is between you and
Oh, you talking about the
X.
POCs?
Well, that too, but yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But
if your business was in the masses, then it was unless you knew particular people, then it was kind of hard to get back to everybody else. Because your freshman and sophomore business is not in the.
as you got older, your business was out in the streets.
Oh, most definitely.
It was out in the streets. I didn't really have that problem. He sort of had that problem with various
Mm, mm.
situations. that
Mm.
he did not ask for, but they happened, and he dealt with them as graciously.
Enjoyed them. Mm.
He enjoyed them, but it was the way that the information was spread was probably not ideal for him. Um, but yeah, like it was like our school was about what, like 4,000, 5,000 kids.
Yeah.
So I liked it because it was kind of like my high school. My high school was about 500 kids, 500, 500, 700 max. Um,
Mm.
so like you would go about, like you see everyone, like everyone say hi to you, you know who everyone is to some capacity. Um, but it was kind of annoying, at least on campus, because you didn't really have any secrets. You couldn't really keep a secret unless the people you know were really good at keeping secrets, and usually there's one person who just puts your business out there. Um, I didn't have that problem until about probably sophomore junior year, but it wasn't a problem. It was more so the other person was just making the block hot. Um, so that kind of spread everywhere. Um, and for some clarification, because we will get into this another day, the person that I was messing with wanted to make it seem that we were just like just hooking up and not doing anything else. But they were
Fuck you.
not, they
Fuck
were
you.
not discreet about
They was bugging.
their, their, they were not discreet about their actions. And it kind of made it very clear to everyone, to the point where I ended up dating them, and I told people, and they're like, "Yeah, we knew that. We've been to this." And it's just like,
Mm.
well,
Mm.
I'm, I'm surprised, but yeah.
Just what was the question again? Because
How do you
you're trying to light my fuse right now.
how do
But
you how did you go about navigating the small campus in terms of, at least socially? Because
all right, you don't
academically,
say Pete. Okay, what he's basically asking me is how did I navigate the POC environment when it came to being in people business. I was a person who just the tea was always given to me. I never caused tea or created it. Well,
you
same
created
shit.
it indirectly, though,
Okay.
by
That's
association.
later. That's later.
By
But I
association.
never was a person who got into shit or whatever. I was just a chill dude. I did my shit, went about my business, saw my friends when I saw my friends, did what I wanted to do. But I didn't create no shit or nothing. Um, Later on, yes, I got into it just with certain situations that I was in, but it wasn't. I didn't like that because in certain aspects, I don't like certain people. Well, certain things being that much into the public, especially if I don't want it to. But I mean, I would say I navigated it in the way of you just learn from your mistakes. Certain try not to do this same thing twice. Because and just realize that at some point somebody's going to know something in that kind of community. Um, Nothing's really ever going to stay a secret for a long time. It might last for a good time, but not a long time. But I personally wouldn't say I got into any crit like that was crazy or detrimental or caused any issues with people or nothing like that. Because I'm not a home wrecker. I'm not a messy person um, or anything or whatever. But I mean, navigating it, it's just learning from your mistakes and just moving differently the next time. But some other folks that we know, they was
Yeah, there are a lot of people who are into that shit, like
pretty into the shit, making the
making it a
block
big
hot,
deal. Yeah.
home wrecking.
I mean,
just doing whatever the fuck they wanted to.
My biggest tip to anyone who will find themselves in this situation is probably just to realize that whatever secret you think is being kept is most likely not being kept, unless you friends are just like this. And even if they are, they're most likely going to allude to it to someone else in some capacity. Because I noticed there were just certain people. You have to realize what people are like feeding into that shit.
Yeah.
And me and him actually kind of became friends through noticing that shit. Noticing who would feed into, tea or throw
Wait, what are
rumors
you
around.
referring to?
Huh?
What are you
No,
referring to?
like we would both notice like people who would try get shit like make shit spicy, some shit like that. Or we would just notice when people was doing dumb shit. Like you would even tell me when some shit was, some dumb shit was done to you on your behalf. Um uh,
You're doing a lot right now.
that's
You doing a lot
I'll
right now.
try to explain this without giving the
You
whole story.
can, but you keep throwing out the fish net. They just reeling it back.
Nah, because there was one situation we bonded over was a chick that he had, a little entanglement with, and he kind of explained to me how it went down, and it didn't go down how he had planned it originally, and it got him very upset. And he was kind of more so warning me about that. And
Oh.
as someone, and I did not heed his warning, which led to my problems later on.
The blueprint.
We're not. That's too
Yes.
long of
Okay.
a
He said
story.
it. Now this is what I'm talking about earlier. I gave him the blueprint. Um. Yes. It happens sometimes. So be it. We're not one of those weird people who are just like, "Hey, fuck you. Why would you do that? I don't like you anymore." No. It was mutually finished before I before and then he got into it, and then I just told him, I was like, look, this is what's gonna happen. This is you're gonna get into. And everything I said came true. Unfortunately. But he was warned.
I live with my decisions.
As you should.
I
As
live
you
with my
should.
decisions. I live with my decisions.
You gotta
But
sit in what that saying is, you gotta sit in the bed you made, or make the bed you sleep in. I don't fucking
sleeping
know.
the, I don't know. Just
I
saying.
forgot.
Someone Google it.
Yeah.
EMS. But yeah, being on a small campus, it has perks. Like you get closer with more people, but
Yes.
you also have to just be aware your business might be out there, even though you don't want it to be. Which we kind of learned to live with as we got older. We kind of advised that to other people on campus as they came in, and they didn't believe. A lot of them didn't believe us at first, and then they came back to us. They're like, "Dang, like we should listen to you." And we're like, "Yep." Well, it got worse actually as we got older because it was just the underclassmen, which just got wilder and wilder when we as people came in. Yo,
Mm. Woo!
oh my god, that
Ric
shit
Flair,
was
woo with the drip. Yeah,
that
y'all.
shit
Some of y'all
killed
are,
me.
are wild. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Some of y'all are
man.
wild.
People coming at each other's significant other,
Mm.
getting at each other's significant other, talking shit about
Yeah.
the other counterpart to get to them,
Mm-hmm.
just cheating in general.
Whoa. Whoa.
Cheating and then hiding it, even though everyone else knew, and then you act like a couple and in front of everyone else, and then you just look at that nigga and just be like, dang, that's fucked up. Like none of us can say anything because it's like it's not our place. So no, that's just tough.
If you
That's
close enough, if you close
if
enough to
you
me, I
close
say
enough,
some shit
yes,
to
but
you.
it's like, yeah,
But them people, I wasn't that close.
yeah. So it's like, I don't know. Stay out of the BS.
Yes,
Stay out of the BS.
stay out of it. Do what you got to do. If you go to a PWI, don't lose you lose your own identity, um, to fit in or whatever. If you bought this life, stay about it. It's definitely a that's of more importance now in the past year and the climate and stuff like that. But know who you are, stick to what you got to get to. Don't be closed minded to certain experiences, and things like that. And just try to make the best of it. No situation is not going to be perfect. Um, whether you think it's perfect or not, just make sure you get through and get that degree, and do what you got to do. But we could talk about different scenarios, situations, and stories, for hours on end. But we'll most likely make this a series.
Wait. We gotta close it out. We gotta close it out with a drunk story. Your worst drunk experience on campus in your 4 years. We gotta close it out. Each of us.
Oh, I know yours. I don't know about me.
I had a few. I just don't know
Uh,
which one's worse.
we know the one's worse is when you tried to claim I knew your fucking sister.
Nah, that wasn't the worst. Cause I didn't throw up. I was just acting stupid.
From my knowledge, you only threw up freshman year.
Yeah, freshman year. I'll just start. My worst one was probably, yeah, I'm gonna say freshman year. Freshman year, we made the club lacrosse team. I was
Mm,
one of like
mm, mm, mm.
8 freshmen made the team, and like a couple sophomores. We had a scrimmage on campus. We won the scrimmage, so it was a Saturday. So we all ended up just drinking at some person's townhouse. Um, you know, they knew we were freshmen, so they were kind of trying to see what we were about. So they gave us copious amounts of alcohol. It was kind of my actually first. It wasn't my first time drinking, but it was my first time drinking that much. Um, so we would drink all day and led to the night.
Of legal age, right?
Yeah. Let's go with that. Let's go with that story. But yeah, we was because it's crazy because I was fine during the day, and then we had to go home because we stunk, so we had to go home and change, and um, we came back, and then we kept drinking more, and I ended up blacking out, passed out in some dude's townhouse with my pants off, just boxers, and I just had boxers and a dress shirt on. I feel like did I show you this picture?
I think you refused to show me this picture.
Showed you the picture. It was, yeah, I had a backpack on, I had a dress shirt and no pants, just boxers in the couch. To the
Oh,
point,
you talking about the one where like you was on the floor
yeah,
and they took the picture and you
yeah,
was like, oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. So it was that happened. My freshman teammates had to carry me from the townhouses to my dorm. Um, I lost one of my shoes, never found it.
Wow.
I was kind of mad. I was using my workout shoes. They're nice shoes. I mean, they weren't that nice, but it was like, dang, you lose a pair of shoes. It's to the point where I don't know if anyone remembers this, but freshman year, like I lost a shoe and I was tight. I was like, fuck, I lost a shoe. So I took a picture of it. And we have a Facebook group. I took a picture of the shoe that I kept and I posted in the Facebook group. It was like, hey, yo, if y'all see like a shoe
My
that looks like
God,
this outside,
that
like
shit was long gone.
can you just return it to me? Like
Long gone.
I think I left it near this dorm. Like just return to me at I just put my dorm and everything, and it got like mad likes, and people were just like, dude, like you're not finding this shoe. um, pretty sure, yeah, they carried me back to my dorm. A couple of my friends had to, make sure I was okay. Um, pretty sure I think I puked in.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah, I puked in my room.
he
Puked
got
all
out
over
of
my.
control.
I puked in my room. It was all over my room to the point where my roommate didn't even sleep in the room.
What he talking? What he's telling you is what he forgot to tell you guys is that he was a sheltered child and he was let loose in college. So yeah,
I didn't know how to drink at that point, so it was just like,
neither did I, but I did not
um,
go to the extreme.
I mean, you got wild on your birthday. You puked in the whole
I got
freaking session.
wild. It's okay, but I didn't. The thing was, I didn't lose a shoe, and I knew what was going on the entire time. It was just at that point
No, I blacked out.
I
That was the
now
first
realized.
time. That was the first time I blacked out. I blacked out. I puked all in my room to the point where I remembered nothing. And I had to call one of my friends to see what happened. She explained everything to me. I had to call like 4 different people. So yeah, I lost a shoe, was in my underwear and towels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I fell outside of the townhouses, like in front of a car, and like was just stuck there. They just watched me. Uh, maybe
Oh my
one day, if I find the
god!
clip, we could post it on the socials. But
Oh,
um, it was pretty funny. Just imagine a limp body, just like being being truck across the floor.
oh my
Um,
god!
but yeah, that was a pretty fun time.
Wow. I wouldn't really say I have a story. I would say I've had stories in recent years, but I mean, I wouldn't really consider that a drunk story because yes, I was intoxicated into the point of throwing up, but never like I just never get like that. I always know what's going on and can recur most of the event. But I'll say the story. Basically, like I mentioned earlier, we have where his is February 3rd, mine is February 4th. Obviously the better one. But I had went to dinner with three of my friends and I had like two light little drinks. Then I had I think a shot of fire, like two shots of fireball, um, some strawberry, like half a can of strawberry, and like 3 full cups of a jungle juice concoction. And the jungle juice was delicious. And at that point, your boy didn't know what the
That's how
damage
it
of the
gets you.
jungle juice could actually do. And I had a
Twice.
good time. I had a good time, but at that point I knew. I'm like, all right, when I'm that level and shit slow down, my stomach get the rumbling, I know it's about to pop off. I was literally talking to one of our now friends, didn't know her very well at the time. I was like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, my name's Sean. Here my Snapchat. Right in the sink. I knew it was popping off because I felt it. And I just was like, all right, bet here's what's about to go. So I'm gonna prepare myself. I'm not about to throw up in nobody's apartment on no floor because I'm like, if this was mine, like I'm even in these moments, I'm conscious enough to know this. So I'm like, all right, let me get over a sink. I get over the sink, I throw up in the sink or whatever. when I basically throw up, I'm incapacitated. I basically cannot move. My body is cold. I feel like if I take a few steps, I'm going to throw up again or whatever. So I literally threw up. I still had the presence of mind to like clean it up because obviously I had ate earlier. So that was all up in the sink and all that. So I just like put it in the trash can because the niggas in the apartment was like, yo, you got to clean it up. I was like, all right, chill, relax. I got you. I cleaned it up. Literally went to the bathroom right outside of their apartment and was just facing the toilet. I knew what I was doing, but like I said, when I went the first throw come out, I'm incapacitated. Stomach is just on angles. I feel like I can't walk. There's a picture out there. Our friend Alice has a picture. I think I have the picture now of me just face damn near touching the toilet water. And I shout out to the producer again, Chanel. She carried me back all the way to her room, basically, my big ass. And I recovered there. Was throwing up all day, but I recovered. But yeah, I wouldn't consider that my drunkest, but it was definitely an experience, or whatever. But yeah, yeah, people, that's weird.
I wish I was there, but I also
Why?
wish I wasn't.
Why?
I just wish I saw how it panned out. Like,
What do you mean panned out?
I know you like you're explaining it, but I just want to see it like physically, like how this
Why?
happened. It's just
Oh my
it just
god!
sounds so funny to me. It just sounds so funny. Just the
Pretty sure
fact that
people from the outside can tell better versions of the story, but it is what it
I don't
is.
know. It just seems hilarious to me that you just
But
make this
people,
up.
we could go on and on, but we don't want to take up too much of your time. But please come back. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your moms, tell your pops. We a podcast for everybody. But yes, we're gonna turn this into a series. May have guests with it, other people to share stories and things like that. You got a glimpse into the dynamic we got a little going here. We didn't get into it heavy, but
give us some questions for the next time we talk about college, whether it's stuff that we both experienced together, um,
things you might
general
want to know.
aspects, just stuff that stories,
Things you might want to
um,
know. Yo,
arguments, just
yo,
stuff that you want to know.
yo. Hit us up at B period A period G underscore combos
It's
on
CONVOS.
Instagram. Yes, literally combos, not conversations. Get it together, people. Adios.
Follow me, King_Sid6.
Oh my God. Stop.